Hello, my name is Tomato Blazer. I speak for the tomatoes. Today's a little different. We're filming on my phone. We are doing a TBR jar. We're making a TBR jar. So just sit back, relax, and watch me tell about my physical TBR. Some things real quick. We have a fun drink. It's gonna be a good time. If you hear squeaking, it is because I have this little lady in my lap, and she was squeaking because she wanted attention. I don't want her to chew on my necklace, so I'm gonna take it off. Did I just break it? I just broke it. The whole point was to take it off so I wouldn't break it. I'll deal with that later. This is Miki. She is my sister's guinea pig. We got her from her friend. My sister has two other guinea pigs. We've had guinea pigs our whole lives. One of my first ever memories was in kindergarten around Christmas time, looking at guinea pigs and hamsters. My dad going, "Are you guys sure you don't want a hamster?" And I was going, "No, we don't want a hamster. We don't want a guinea pig." I don't claim to be an expert in guinea pigs because I'm not the one. I've had guinea pigs before when I was little. Like, me and my sister shared pets. But pretty quickly they became her responsibility. And, she has two guinea pigs now, two male guinea pigs, but we took Miki in for one of my sister's friends who's moving, which happens kind of a lot, not a lot, it's happened one other time where we took two other elderly guinea pigs in. But Miki is very vocal, Miki likes attention, Miki likes being held a lot. So if you hear her squeaking, she's not in pain, she's not harmed, she's fine, she is just being a little brat. But because I can't sit forward because then Miki. I'm filming this video because I want to make a physical TBR jar. Here's the thing. Here is the motherfucking D. Where's my phone? Don't know. I am not the biggest physical reader, and I also don't own a lot of physical books, so that is the main reason I haven't made a physical TBR yet. And I've also read a lot of the books in my physical TBR. However, I am willing to reread majority of them. So nope, don't do that. Don't do that, Miki. I am gonna sit forward. Miki, I'm sorry. Hold on, Miki. Hold on, Miki. Hold on, Miki. Hold on, Miki. Miki, it's okay. Miki, it's okay. Miki, it's okay. My main reason I haven't done a TBR jar is because I read most of my books through the library. And, I am also a mood reader. So I don't like being told what to do. This is more just like a fun challenge, and if I get around to it, I get around to it. But I would like to read through a lot of my physical books I have read. I just haven't read in years. And so I want to reread them, or I just haven't read them yet. So kind of what the challenge is, if I can listen to it, I will listen to it. But I'm gonna pull one, honestly, anytime I feel like, anytime I finish a book from the TBR jar, I will pull one. Unless I don't want to pull one yet, then I will just pull it. Whenever a book is finished, and whenever I feel like it, I will pull one. But I have to finish a book before I pull it. And finishing it can also be like DNFing it. Either way, I have to be done with the book before I can pull another one, but I can pull whenever, as long as the book is finished. I actually use 3 separate library apps, like for audiobooks, and so it's really wide in my variety of like what I'm able to get accessibly. So I don't think it would be too hard to get any of these books. I actually did want to grab my phone though. What was that? Okay, I'm going to go grab my phone. I'll be right back. So I'm gonna do this. Our little jar isn't actually a jar. It says on a mug. I thrifted for $2. Frozen 2 is one of my comfort movies. Comfort me. I love it. I was obsessed with Frozen as a kid, and I watched Frozen 2 in theaters for my 13th birthday, and I loved it. So Another reason I didn't want to do this was purely because I didn't want to cut the slips. But I got this thing of sticky notes from Half Price Books a while ago, and it comes with these sticky notes that are like pre-cut basically. They're very cute. They don't stick at all. These do not stick at all. So, but they were like $4, and they give me a shit ton of sticky notes. And if you are someone who writes a lot or just has journals, like writes whips, working on a novel, working on poetry, is very good to have a place to write down your notes, especially if you have no storage on your phone. So we're just gonna do that. But I could do like different categories for these, but I'm not going to. Maybe I will in the future. I have a lot of each, so you know, I can afford to use a couple. But yeah, I'm just going to put them for series. How I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna put read blank, continue blank series, and then if I pull that, then I will just read the next book I haven't read yet. Other than that, I have like no rules. Here's my hot take with TBR jars. I personally think it is insane and consumeristic to have a TBR over like 300, honestly over 100 books that you haven't read. I think it's insane. I think the only time it can be acceptable are two ways. And there could be more, to be honest. There could be more. But I think the only two reasons it can be acceptable is the obvious one. If you are a book influencer, you get sent a lot of books. Especially if you have, like, a lot of your collection as ARCs. Okay, I get that. Or if you have, like, an at-home library that you, like, let people borrow from. Like, you have a community library, but, like, it's at your house. Okay, I see that. Otherwise, I think it's insane. Otherwise, I think people being, like, reading my 300-plus TBR, I'm like, that's crazy that you bought that many books. And that's not really, like, I don't think that's, like, a cancel-worthy offense. I don't think it's, like, a... I do want to make this channel, like, bookish. I want to make it, like, booky. I want to talk about books a lot. I actually, I've said this so many times, filmed a video about Red Queen, and then it got deleted, like, it got messed up, and I couldn't post it. And I was so sad, because I didn't like it, if you're curious. I didn't like it. But I do think it's insane. I think I have a very reasonable TBR in the way I've read majority of the books I own, but... you know, that might just me. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying I think it is capitalistic and consumeristic to own a bunch of books you haven't read. I do think that's, like, you know, crazy. Oh, shoot, I forgot one. Hold on a second. Come here. Okay, it didn't break. Didn't break. I keep that thing on me. Mickey. Okay, so I am just going to show you the books I have, and then we're going to write them down, put them in a jar, and then we're going to pick one. I don't know when I'm going to start the book we picked, because again, I probably won't read it physically, and another thing, I have a couple other books on my radar. Again, I am a mood reader, but I'm a mood reader in the way where I'm like, I don't, like, tell myself, like, I'm going to read this book next, unless it's my library hold, like, a library hold came, I'm like, okay. So, currently, the books, I'm currently physically reading Cherry Baby by Rainbow Rowell, but I might DNF it. Only reason is I need to return to the library, and I kind of am in a situation where I can't go to the library as frequently as I want to, so I'm like, I should probably return it quickly. I don't have time to finish it, and I'm also waiting to get the audiobook. It's on hold. It's on hold for like another 2 months, but I am willing to wait that just because I love the person who voices Rainbow Rowell. She voices all of her audiobooks except Simon Snow Trilogy, and I love her. I love her so much, and I want to listen to all of Rainbow Rowell's books through audio at least once. And I'm like, a 2-month period is really short to read a book again. Like, I usually don't let myself read a book until like a year later, but I was gonna make an exception. But I'm like, I might just not, but I'm gonna pick off where I keep off because I do have the talent and ability to. I have really good reading comprehension. I always have been, so I know I'll remember exactly. Especially it's a Rainbow Rule book. I know I'll remember it. So that's a physical read, but I might stop physically reading that and start physically reading something else. There are certain books in this that I do actually want to physically read, and some of them, I would prefer to listen to. It really just depends. But, yeah, I'm going to show you them. We're going to write them down. So, starting off, we aren't going to show you any books. I'm going to put continue the Twilight series, because I'm currently reading through the Twilight series. I'm actually currently reading New Moon. Like, that's my book. Oh, sorry, okay. I have Bride. Bride I have on Cloud Library, and I use Libby, Cloud Library, and Hoopla. I use Libby and Cloud Library through my regular library, and then I have a county library. Did you just pee on me? Okay. Excuse me. We had to do a costume change. No biggie. Sometimes guinea pigs pee. I don't know if she wants to be put back though. I don't. Oh, she has the most boba eyes. I've had guinea pigs before. Nobody has boba eyes like Miki. Anyways, I'm currently reading New Moon. It's the only good Twilight book, and it's not good. But I like it because I like Jacob. And I only like New Moon Jacob. Every other version of Jacob can choke. Also, if you're wondering what I'm drinking ramen cup broth. This spicy chicken broth. Okay. I'm going to put in... I'm going to try to write with fun pens. When I reread Eleanor and Park for the first time physically, because I read that book like 7 times, but it was my first time reading it physically. I don't use Audible anymore, but it was the first audio book I ever got on Audible when I got a free membership. And I got these pens. It was like they had a bunch of different colors, and they suck. They suck. And I'm really mad at Half Price Books for doing that to me, but continue Twilight. So I'm going to put a couple of I'm going to put like 3, because if you don't know, there are actually 7 books in the Twilight Saga, but the 4 main are Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, and then the other 3 are Life and Death, which is a gender-bent version of Twilight, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which is the novella between Eclipse and Breaking Dawn, and then, Midnight Sun, which is Edward's perspective. So, I'm just my goal is to finish the saga by October, and like Midnight Sun will be one of my October books. Oh my god, I didn't even complete it. I have raging ADHD, if you couldn't know. I have Bride's gonna be my next book after New Moon, but I also have Don't Whisper at Night. I think that's what it's called. It's an anthology. I don't know what the difference between an anthology and a short story is. I'm new to reading as an adult. I've read 43 books? 43 or 44. I've read 43 or 44 books so far this year, and I don't know what an anthology is. Sue me. But it's indigenous and specific and Hawaiian. I forget what it's all called. It's Indigenous month. It's the month of the Indigenous. And I try to read things from that. So like for Black History Month, I try to read Black authors. For Pride Month, I'm going to... I have to read so much gay shit. I have to finish Long Game in Pride Month, absolutely. Finish the Game Changer series. I only have 1 book left. But, I'm really excited for that one. Really excited for that one. The girl who recommended it to me, like, not to me personally, but, like, was filming recommended, she DNF'd it, but she DNF'd it for the reason everyone DNF'd short stories. It's because they don't like short stories. And I personally don't think I'm gonna like short stories, but I do think I'm gonna like this. I do think it's like a spooky story. I grew up and I live in Arizona, and obviously every single state has indigenous people, but Arizona has a lot of reservations and stuff, and so you hear a lot about just like myths and like lore and stuff. I'm not gonna say the SW. I'm not gonna say that out loud because I'm not stupid, but I am hoping there's a story about them. Or the big W, the ghosts. I hope there's a story about them. But I don't want to say like I grew up around it, but I don't know much about it, so I'm excited to learn more about something I've always been curious about. in a way that's coming from Indigenous people and not coming from white people. But I'm curious about that. I'm really excited to start that. And then I also have The Long Game on my radar. And then I also, I don't know her name, but she wrote Lady Macbeth and Juniper and Thorn, I think. And I searched up, I just saw it was somebody's TBR and it had really pretty covers, so I searched it up, and they're like gothic fantasies that are like also horror, so I was curious about that. And that hold came in from Libby, so I am probably going to do that after. Maybe I'll do like a 2 scary at once. I don't know. I'm in a big spooky mood, so I'm excited for those. So those are what's on my radar, but everything else is up to determine. And I do think if I pull a book, I do think I'm going to try to do it physically, because I do think I'm going to DNF Cherry Baby. Not because it was bad. It's actually really good. And it almost made me cry at a point. So, but I want to finish Twilight, so I'm going to do 3 continued Twilights, and as I go on, I'll probably add more, but I'm curious to see. Miki, can you not chew on my clothes, baby girl? I'm curious to see how many slips I'll actually have. I'll have to keep count. But I do think this is a really, I am cheating by using these little sticky notes. I don't even care though. I love them. Okay, I'm not doing prompts. Obviously, you could tell that. I am not a big prompt girl. I like being told what to do. Not always, but like when I have to make a decision, I don't want you to be like, here are your options and like here's some like ideas. I want you to be like, do this. Am I a mindless sheep? You know what? We'll never know. Miki, do you want some paper to chew on? Here you go. There's some paper to chew on. There you go. Okay. 3 slips so far. I'll continue into my life. Okay, now we're just gonna start showing. So this is actually gonna be a reread, and I want to read this book physically. This is A Song of Achilles. I read it first in the 10th grade because I don't even know how I got it, but I got like three free books from Audible for like using them so much. I don't use them. I listened to 1 book, and unfortunately I wasted it on a Harry Potter book. One of them was a Harry Potter book, but one of the books I got was Song of Achilles. Obviously I don't support Harry Potter anymore, to make that very clear. But I loved the audiobook. I thought it was really good, but are you peeing on me again? No, okay. But I do want to reread it physically. I've tried to read it again. I don't know. It's such a magical, it's so good. It's genuinely so good. But it's like I feel like I have to be in the mood for it, and I am a little bit in the mood for it, so we will see. Okay. I'm just gonna go. I have 3 stacks. Once I complete a stack, I'm gonna move on. Okay. Majority of my physical TBR is things I bought at the library bookstore. I'm a huge component of the library bookstore. That's 4 slips, also, so you know. Huge. I'm gonna put Miki back. I'm a little overwhelmed. Can you not open my door when I just closed it? Disrespectful. Hi, baby. So this is a self-help book. I don't really do self-help books. It's not really my thing. I've actually never read a self-help book, but I've read a couple pages and it did intrigue me. And also just look at it. That cover's so cool. It reminds me of Little Miss Fortune. So I have a bookmark in it. I was on page 36. It isn't super far, but like, this would also, I feel like, be a quick read. It's only, it's short. It's only 238 pages. So, I do feel like I could finish it very quickly. So I am curious. I think this will be another one I will read physically. Also because I don't think there's an audiobook. But it's a long title. Okay, Happiness is running through the streets. Okay. I'm just gonna say running to you. I'll get the message. And Alexis, if you don't get the message, get the message. Like, come back here, get the message. Okay, that's 5. I'm gonna put the books that I've done on my bed. Okay. This, I am dreading. And I've annotated it in bright pink things, which I feel like would piss a man off. This is The Catcher in the Rye. You've probably heard of it. You may have had to read it in high school. My dad had to read it in high school. He said it was his favorite. That's one of the reasons I read it. And also because UnCarly, who, like, used to be one of my favorite booktubers, when, like, I didn't watch Book Talk, but, like, she was the one exception. She doesn't really do booktube videos anymore. She more just, like, pop culture stuff, which is good for her. But she talked a lot about Catcher in the Rye. And she talked about how it's, like, a book where nothing happens. And that had me intrigued. And I tried reading this, and I just couldn't get into it. I do think I would also like to physically read this one. I just don't know if that's possible. I'm not a classic girl. For a long time, I thought I wasn't a classic girly, and then I just realized I'm not a classic girly where there's a man wrote it. So, okay, next up are 2 double whammy, same author, Roald Dahl, Matilda, Witches. I am so curious about these books. I've actually read Roald Dahl, like quite a few of his books. I read them in the hospital. And I also got these from the library bookstore. They had like a children's theme, and I got them. This used to be actually the libraries, so. But I think Matilda will make me sad, and that's why I've been avoiding it. Because the Harry Styles song makes me cry, and I think the movie would also make me cry. So I think the book's gonna make me cry. Oh, this one got ripped. Okay, this sucks. But I am curious about it. I really think I will like it, and also I could read his books easily in a day. I'd actually be very happy to pull either The Witches or Matilda. I think they'd be really fun to do. And I might just do them, like, over this weekend. Because I've been wanting to read them for a while. Okay, we got 2 gay books next. So maybe we'll pull them from Pride Month. We have Forget Me Not by Alison Derrick. Here's the thing. I just suck at reading physically. It's a strength that I don't have. Especially books I haven't read before. Give me a book I've read before, I'll finish it. I finished one of my favorite books ever by my favorite author, Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which is a Christmas book. I did read it in March, and it was my 3rd time reading it. What about it? Give me that. I finished it in like 2 days. But a book that, like, I don't love, it's harder for me to get into. Not that I don't love, but a book that I don't know, it's harder for me to get into physically, and so I struggle with it. I really struggle with physical reading, so this also might help with my physical reading. But I bought this at Barnes & Noble. No, I don't like Barnes & Noble. I bought this at Half Price Books because I was talking to one of the girls, and she's really trying to give me recommendations, because I don't know how to say no to people. So I was like, oh, I could use some recommendations. I didn't want recommendations. But then I was like, do you have anything sapphic? And she's like, what is that? And I was like, lesbian. And she was like, and so she found me so many sapphic books, and she found me this, but this one's sad. This one is sad gay book. There's sad gay books and there's happy gay books, and there's no in between. And this is like homophobia, like having to hide your partner, sad, and it makes me really emotional. I do not have a homophobic parent. Well, I have a homophobic mom, but she didn't raise me. My dad's not homophobic, but also I will say, the one thing that does kind of tick me off about gay books is there's usually 2 types of characters in gay books, and there's like the closeted gay person whose family will never accept them, and then the super openly gay person whose family is super loving. And I just like have to tell you that's like not the reality for a lot of gay people. A lot of the time it's like you're out and you've been out forever, and your parents aren't like accepting, but your parents aren't like not accepting. Your parents just don't care, and they're not very supportive, and every time you try to tell them about queer stuff, they're like whatever, and they're like low-key a little homophobic, but like not in a rampant like abusive homophobic way, but it's like they're not supportive. And I wish that was shown. Sue me. Okay. Got this also from the library bookstore. As you can see, it has the little marking on it. This is the marking, $2. I want to read this again. I actually had this on physical before. I mean, audio before. I wasn't in a reading phase. But I do think I generally really enjoy this. I do think this would be really fun after I finish Long Game, the Game Changer series, after I finish Long Game. I do think that would be really fun. So, red, white. And there's also a show, which I'll probably watch. And I feel like that would be fun. Because it'll probably be short. I don't think it will be too long, because it's only one book. But, okay. This one I'm going to read physically. This is Doll Bones. If you don't know anything about it, basically, it's about 3 kids who find an ancient doll. I don't even know how they find it. And basically found out she was murdered by her dad, and they go to restore her to her grave. I read it. If you lived in Arizona, I don't know if other states do this. If you lived in Arizona, you might have done Battle of the Books, which is like where you read there's 3 rounds. You read 4 books each round, and then once that you have a couple 3 months to read them. It goes on the whole school year, and once you read them, you do you answer questions. You're in a group of 3 and you answer questions, and whoever wins gets to go to state. And I actually went to state in 6th grade. Not flex. So I am excited to revisit this. I really liked it. I liked a lot of my Battle of the books. And I'm not super into children's media, but I do think I will enjoy this. So it's like spooky scary. I don't want to read this book. I do think if I'm going to read this book, which I don't want to, why don't you want to read this book? Because I'm going to fucking bawl my eyes out, dude. Do you ever want to think about the Holocaust? Sorry, Kobe. No, it's okay. I'm not mad. It's okay, I'm not. It's okay. Let me remain calm. Do you ever genuinely want to think about the Holocaust? I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. But do you ever want to? When I first learned about the Holocaust in the 8th grade, I had nightmares for a month. The most haunting fact about my favorite classic, I Who Have Done No Man, is that she escaped the Holocaust. She never went, but she escaped being sent to the Holocaust. That haunts me. I don't want to fucking do this. But I will, because it's important, and also it's a beautiful book. So, I do think if I pick it, though, I do think this will be a one I pick multiple times and say no until the day comes where I'm like, I can't run it anymore. So, you're a good boy. I freaked him out a little bit. Okay. The Book Thief. There's one other book in this. I think maybe a couple. Where I'm like, I don't want to read because I don't think I'll ever emotionally recover. And The Book Thief is one of them. Okay. Scythe? I think that's how you say this. This was popular on when I was growing up, dystopian TikTok. Not even TikTok. TikTok wasn't around when I was this was popular. This was popular on BookTube. Everyone who's if you love the Hunger Games. I think dystopians would be really fun to get into. I'm just scratching my dog's butt. You're a good boy. I think they'd be really fun to get into, but I recently read The Red Queen for the first time. It was my first dystopian book I read as an adult. And the first one I ever read was The Hunger Games. It's the only one I've ever read fully. Well, I haven't read Sunrise on the Reaping. I don't want to. I choose to be mentally stable. Oh, I have Sunrise on the Reaping. Okay, hold on. We're gonna write down Sunrise on the Reaping. I also actually do want to read Sunrise on the Reaping because I've read every other. I've listened to the trilogy before, through audio, but the first 3 times I read it was physical, and I'm a weird person where if I read some of the books, I'm weird, I'm elitist, okay, sue me, I want to read it physically. I probably won't though. Sunrise on the I read Red Queen and really didn't enjoy it because not in the way you think I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think I did, let me speak. The reason I didn't enjoy it wasn't because it was bad or anything. Like, it was badly written, or like classic, just like classic YA annoyance. Which, like, I personally think if you just shit on YA books because they're YA, you hate women and you hate young readers. That's my opinion. But it wasn't like a classic. Like, it didn't even, like, I feel like the most annoying thing about dystopian books is like, she was so skinny and she was like, that's annoying. Like, she was so weak and powerless. But I think the thing I disliked about it most is it was just boring. It was a lot more politically driven, but I didn't find any of the political stuff interesting. It wasn't an interesting book to me. It didn't have much going for it. None of the characters interested me. I'm not trying to be rude. If you liked it, go off. I just, like, don't know what there's to like. Anyways. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. If it makes you feel better, I'm not gonna read Powerless because I know that woman stole, so. I've read one Emily Henry book, which is in this pile. I'm gonna reread it, so we'll get to that when we get to that. But, and I own 3 Emily Henry books. This is the only one I got secondhand. I got, well, maybe, I don't know. I got it for $2 at the library bookstore, and I'm curious to read it. I do think I want to read all of Emily Henry. It's just not a priority right now. It's just, like, not something I am, like, prioritizing. But I do eventually. I feel like it's like a token. If you like romance and if you read books, you have to read every single Emily Henry book. I'm also slowly working my way through all of Allie Hazelwood's book. I would love to own an Allie Hazelwood book. I tried to get my mom to buy me Deep End, and then she was like, what is this book about? And I couldn't tell her it was about something that starts with a B and ends with an M. So I was like, never mind, we don't have to get it. And she tried to read the back, and I was like, don't you dare. So I don't, there's a special edition of Deep End, though, that they have at Half Price Books for like $75, and I want it so bad. And Deep End wasn't even my favorite. My favorite was Problematic Summer Romance, which I hate to say because I don't like age gaps. But anyways, my main focus though is to read all of Rainbow Rowell's books right now, which is technically a romance. I don't see Rainbow Rowell as a romance. I see her more. I don't know what I see her as. She's just her own genre of amazing. But I do want to read this eventually. I don't know if I'll read it physically, whatever. But I will read it eventually. So. Okay, baby. You want belly rubs? You want belly rubs? You're a good boy. Mommy loves you. Okay, the next 2 is another one by the same author. I got these the same day from the library bookstore. I actually went back. My mom dropped me off. I spent some money. My dad picked me up. No. Somehow, I know my mom took me or dropped me off, and then my dad got me and then dropped me off. But basically, I went to the library, bought some stuff, went back to my house to get more money, and then I originally bought The Secret Lives of Bees, and then I bought The Mermaid Chair. I know nothing about either of these books, especially The Mermaid Chair. I don't know anything about it. I'm pretty sure this is about escaped slaves, which again, everybody should know about slavery. Everybody should learn about slavery. Is it a fun thing to learn about? No, because it's so deeply fucking sad. It's so hard. If you have empathy, learning about things like the Holocaust, learning about things like slavery are important, but it doesn't make it not sad. My sister read this in school, and that's why I recognized it. I have very loose memories of my sister describing the book she's reading in school, not because she's reading them personally, but because her school is reading them, and our school is reading them, and they would, talk about them in such, my sister's a really good storyteller, so they would talk about them in, a really interesting way, and it always made me so curious. So I'm gonna read this. It's also by a Black author. Both of these, same author, by the Black author, and I'm trying to read more diversely. That's a goal of mine. I would like to own more diverse books. I own a lot of white authors, because a lot of the books I own were from a couple years ago when I didn't read as diversely. So I think I read pretty diversely, but I'm trying to read more, and I'm trying to own more diverse books. I am scared to read this book. This is another one where I'm genuinely really scared. And I also, usually if an author writes one sad book, they write a lot of sad books. Usually you don't see, if you see an author write like fluffy stuff, they only write fluffy stuff. And if you see an author write sad books, then they only write sad books. So I am kind of horrified for that one. But that's another one where I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to emotionally. I do think though if I pull that one, I will read it. We'll see. We'll see. And then The Mermaid Chair, which I know nothing about, but it's by the same author. Also, look at this cover. It's so pretty. The main reason I bought this one was for the cover. The main reason was because I knew I'm going to like The Secret Lives of Bees, and I saw this and I was like, that's so pretty. I don't know if I would have bought it otherwise, but like I did also buy it because I know I'm gonna like The Secret Life of Bees. Recording for 35 minutes, and we still have 2 stacks to go, so it's gonna be a long video. Okay, next stack. Okay, the first one is a comic. I have 2 graphic novels, and they're both series. And then I have 1 comic. I have been avoiding this comic like the plague. I don't know anything about it. I know it's a Batman comic. I don't know anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it. All I know is I didn't want this comic. I didn't want to buy it. I bought it because I accidentally damaged it, and it was a library book, so I had to buy it. And so I hate it. I hate it, and I get really mad every time I see it. So, like, it's not even that deep. I love my library. I'm not going to complain. I damaged it. It's my fault, but I got water damage. If you're wondering, because I know it doesn't really look damaged, but it has some water damage. I'll admit to it. It has water damage. Anyways, pisses me off. Okay, I guess this one just says all the graphic novels. Hooky. I have a terrible habit of getting to the last book in a series and not completing it. So this is another one where I've read majority of this graphic novel. I just haven't read the last one, and I've read part of it. I also usually read, hold on one second. I also usually read part of the last book, and I'm like, I can't do this. So I've actually read like majority. I read a lot of it in January, so I'm gonna pick up where I started off. Pick up where I stopped. But I want to finish this. I just wasn't enjoying it, so. And another version of this, I have read this whole series except for season book 4, and I've read part of book 4. I just haven't finished it. So this one we're gonna put 3 in. There's actually, hold on one second. There's actually I think 5 books in this series, but one of them is like a part of the series, but not required. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. It's confusing. I've looked it up before, and I always get confused. But we're going to put a couple of these in. We're going to put 3. Continue. I'm just going to say Sisterhood. I'm going to say Continue Pants. Continue Pants. I actually thrifted this whole series. My grandma bought it for me when I was a child, and I destroyed them because I didn't know how to take care of books. And then I bought them at the library bookstore, the whole set, the whole 4 books. I don't know about the 5th. I've never seen the 5th book in person, so I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. But and I know it's missing one of the girls because something bad happens to her. No spoilers, but she may no longer be alive, and that's why I stopped reading, because I googled if Tibby died in math class. Spoilers, and I googled what happened to Tibby because I love spoilers. Because Tibby was having a hard time, and then she died, and I was like, oh, I'm not fucking reading this anymore, and I stopped reading. I stopped reading till the 11th grade. So that was in the 7th grade. I stopped reading till the 11th grade. Okay. This was one of the only books I read my senior year when I really wasn't reading at all, and This one's going to be hard because I only own 2 of the books physically, and I want to read this all physically. If I can, I can't, but I would like to read it all physically, so I'm going to do a couple of these. I have mixed feelings about the Heartstopper series. I think it's really cute. I think it's really sweet. I also do think it's a little cringy. I don't think I'd ever watch the TV show. My main qualms about the... Oh my god. My main qualms about the Heartstopper series is with the TV show. I just think it looks really cringy. But we'll see it in the reread. I did think it was really cute. And I also, like, queer art is allowed to be cringy. Like, it's okay. It's sweet. Also, Volume 4 sent me into a meltdown. I'm only going to put 3 of Heartstopper in here. Because but I own Volume 4. I bought it from the library bookstore, and I own this volume, the special edition. So I definitely at least want to read this. I want to read the whole series again. That's one of the things I have actually read the whole series. I just don't remember most of it. Okay, this is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I took off the cover. It's beautiful. It cost $40. My mom was like, pick out a book, I'll get you a book. And I was like, okay, thanks, Mom. It costs $40. Emily Henry, what the fuck? But it is really pretty. It is really pretty. So I'm excited to read this. I think this is our first book. It was popular. It was popular. So Beach Read. Okay. Happy Place. The only other book, the only Emily Henry book I read. I'm excited to reread it. Here's the thing. I have similar feelings about Happy Place that I do Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. You're like, how could those have anything in common? The endings suck. She shouldn't have gotten with that man. Spoilers for Happy Place. She quits being a brain surgeon to be a pottery person and stays with that fuck-ass man, who is extremely attractive. Happy Place is one I absolutely want to get audiobook-wise. I love Win Connor's voice. Is that his name? What was his last name? I love his voice. I think it's so sexy. I actually originally started listening to this book on audio. I got like the physical audiobook from the library, and I listened to it through there, and then so maybe I'll go back to the library and get the physical audiobook. I don't know when I can go back to the library. We'll see. And then I stopped listening to it because I wasn't in my reading era. And then this is one of the only books I read in 2024. I read it, and I read Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This was one of the only books. And I read it in December, which, like, not Happy Place season, but oh my god, guys, it's coming together so well. Okay. We have... I'm really excited to read. This one I'm nervous to reread. I got this from the library bookstore, and I got it because I had football, and I was really into football at the time. I was like, oh, where's the football? I can never figure out how to do this on the camera. You see the football or the shoe? Okay. I remember really liking it, but it's one of those where I'm like, it was written by an old lady, so it probably has something, old white woman, so it probably has something offensive. But we'll see when we get there. And also, it's like a series. I didn't even read it's one of those you don't have to read the series in order, but I read one of the books that, like, wasn't the first. And so if I like it, I probably will continue. I really want to reread it. I read quite a bit in my junior year. Not nearly as much as I read now, but I read quite a bit. It was the most I've read in high school. And so I am excited to revisit some of the stuff I loved in junior year. I read The Sisterhood of Traveling Pants for the second time. Stopped on the 4th book. For the second time in my junior year. I read most of the Twilight Saga in my junior year. So, okay, we have one more pile. Oh, please don't end the video. Okay, we have one more pile. This is a really popular book talk book. I thought it was $1. I bought it at the library. It's $4. I stole from my library. I didn't mean to. It was in my library, when they don't have people at the bookstore, they have an honor box. And there was the honor box, and I was like, oh my god, the wedding people for $1. Yeah, I'm going to get that. And I put my dollar in. Babe, it's $4. So don't tell the librarians. I actually wouldn't be mad about pulling this, but it's another one I would prefer audio because it's so big, but I do think I'm going to like it. It's about a girl, from what I know, I don't know anything. It's about a girl who like plans to remove herself from this earth. So she goes to a hotel to have like one last thing, which like, by the way, self-care, babe. Good for you. Please don't die though. And then she's like, the only other people at this hotel or resort or whatever are a wedding like a wedding guest. Like, it's a wedding. Like, people who are attending a wedding, the people in the wedding. And I guess she like makes friends with them and decides to not kill herself. Good for her. This was my first time ever reading erotica. I was in the 6th grade. I had a desperately bad hyperfixation in Hamilton, specifically Eliza Hamilton, and I got this book, and there is erotica in this book, and I read it I stayed up past the first time ever. I never used to stay up past my bedtime. I was such a good kid. Stayed up past my bedtime to read Alexander and Eliza Hamilton porn. Yeah, and I want to read it again. I think it'd be really funny to read again. I don't read historical fiction at all. I don't think I've ever read a historical fiction besides this book. I also have had 2 copies of this book, because the first copy I tore up so bad, and I would take it. I read this around the time I was rereading it. I've read it twice. I was reading this around the time I was in like at the library I go to now, actually, in like a theater program at the library. And I was also reading The Hunger Games at that time, and the person who worked it thought that the book was a prop and threw it out because it was so badly destroyed. And you can tell I didn't learn my lesson. So, anyways, we're gonna read this. We're gonna read this. Okay. I have such a big mess to clean up. I'm brutally honest, I'm probably just gonna throw those books off my bed and then go to sleep and deal with it tomorrow. And that's honesty, babe. Oh, why are you sticky? Hello? I got this, my old therapy office. It was very bad. I had a terrible therapist. They were like a low-income therapy office, which is why they're so bad. If you don't know, if you have poor mental health and you're low income, you're fucked. Because you'll probably be able to find really affordable therapy, but like, my old therapist was crazy. She one time was like, I'm so sad Charlie Kirk died. I have a book that I got from TikTok Shop or Team. She was a Team Warrior. About all these fallen Christians, and I was like, I don't need to know that. Anyways, I got this, my therapy office used to do, like, because it was a low-income place, like, stuff where you could get, like, secondhand gifts for your friends, your family, I'd always get shit for myself, and the first year they did it, I got this. I was like, oh my god, Madeline Miller. I don't know how to say this girl's name, so I'm not going to. I'd like to listen to this one on audio as well. I think it'd be really fun. I love the song of Achilles. I know I'm gonna love this. So this one I will absolutely not do if I pull it now. I don't know if I will. I don't know. This book destroyed me. I am on like book chapter 4, maybe chapter 6. Like they haven't even left college. I mean high school yet. And I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it because it makes me so sad. Normal People makes me so sad. So I don't want to read it, but I probably will. So I hope I don't pull it. Actually, I really hope I don't pull it. I also have it on Audible. I begged my mom to get it for me on Audible. I don't support Audible. I don't know why I did this. But I was like, Mom, please give me Normal People, please. And I had a breakdown because she was like, no! And then she got it for me. I was like, man. I have tried reading this book so many times. I read it in the psych ward for the first time. I read it in a day. Finished it in a day. Loved it. And I wanna continue the series. I also want to read Six of Crows. I haven't read Six of Crows yet because I think I will become so obsessed with it. It will be a problem. And I actually have, again, on Audible. Here's the thing. All the audiobooks I've gotten for free on Audible. I've never given Audible money, and the only time I've ever somebody else I know has given Audible money is when I got Normal People. My sister got the free Audible subscription for a month, and then they charged her again, and they were like, hey, you charged me again. Like, oh, sorry, and they refunded her, and they also They might have not even refunded her, but they gave her 3 free options, and my sister gave it to me because they love me. And one of the things I got was Six of Crows. She's thinking, I'm not going to read Six of Crows, and then I'm going to immediately read Crooked Kingdom. And if I'm unable to, I'm going to go insane. So, and probably never finish it. So, I want to check. I'm going to check with this book, too. So, we'll write this book down, and then we'll head out. And we'll check it, and then we'll head out. I got this because I was like, ooh, I want like a fun little physical read. It's 700 pages. Girl, I follow the author on Instagram though. She seems really cool. So, and I'm excited for it. And I love a polyamorous couple, so. But, okay, that's everything. Now we are going to just search up if my Libby doesn't have Shadow and Bone on audio. Like, it literally doesn't have the audiobook. But I'm wondering if the Cloud Library or Hoopla does. And if so, I might read that sooner, honestly. I might even pull that, because I want to read that. Because it was so good. I loved it. I read it in a day. Like, obviously, I liked it. It was very addictive. So I'm going to check if Hoopla has it. And I'm also going to check if it has Pucky Around. Shadow and... No, it does not. Okay, do they have Pucky Around? Why is it so hard to... It's like a popular book. At least Six of Crows is popular. Oh. It's in French. Okay, they have it in the regular. Okay, it's available. How long is it? I don't know. I can't get stuff from Hoopla right now because I did my 12... I didn't know there was a limit on how many... And it's stupid. It's not a limit on how many you could have at a time. It's only a limit how many you can have per month. So I have no books out right now, but I can't get another one because I did my 12 book limit. So that was pissing me off. Okay, they have Pucky Around. So if I get Pucky Around, I can listen to it. Well, actually, I'll check on Cloud Library. And I'll check on Libby, too. Let me check on Libby first for Pucky Around, actually. Let me see. Pucking Around. I spelled that wrong. Okay, how long is the hold? Several months. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, now let's do Cloud Library. I'm gonna start with Pucking Around. Pucking Around. Girl, what do you mean no? You don't... Okay, Hoopla's gonna be my savior. If I pull Hoopla, I'll just wait till I get off my band and I'll do that. Okay, now let's see if they have Shadow and Bone. I'm really curious. Shadow and Bone. Shadow and Bone does Shadow and Bone have an audiobook? Yes. Oh my god, why doesn't anybody have it? Okay. Anyways, let's finish this video. Let's see what we're gonna pull. Feeling that, I'm putting it back. Pull a couple. Heartstopper. Okay, I can do that. Fair enough. I kind of want to pull another one because I'm gonna finish Heartstopper in like a day. I'll pull another one now, but I can put it back. I can either do that or pull another one and then put the other one back. Okay, let's pull another one. I want like a physical read. Is what I'm saying. Like that won't last me a day. No, it's the Mermaid Chair. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. It's gonna be sad. I'm not gonna be sad. Yes, I will put shit back. I will. It's my TBR jar. Cry about it. It's normal people, I swear to God. Beach read. Beach read. Beach read. Okay, I can do beach read. Okay. So, the 2 books we pulled, my new physical reads, are Heartstopper and Beach Read by Emily Henry. Okay. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, that's all. Bye.